Vipi wase Ndex hapa BoxtoBox FPL, tuna get ready, Gameweek 5 ishafika. International break imeisha, tumebambika. International break huwa inatumaliza bro. But something good that came out of international break, tumepachapaka upgrade kiasi kwa setup. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. How you liking the new look? Kama kuna kitu tunaweza change, kama pole tu, tuna upgrade tu pole. So leo nataka tuangalie vile tulifanya game week 4, tuangalie pia teams fulani ziko na double game week zina come hivi karibuni, alafu after hiyo tuko na teams fulani nataka tucheki fixtures zao zinaenda kwa better or worse, ama alafu kuna team moja ina fly under the radar pia nataka tucheki hiyo team, alafu captain picks kama kawaida Tumemake transfer moja, tutawajulisha hiyo transfer, alafu obviously to reveal team yetu ya game week 5. So wacha na story mob na tuanze tu hapo. So game week 4 tulikuwa 76 points. Obviously ilikuwa game week yenye kulikuwa na hat-trick tatu, Son, Haaland na Ferguson. Kila mtu mwenye captain Haaland obviously ali come through. Hii wiki nothing special. The only thing nasema ni at least tulikuwa above average. So zile wiki zenye unaona kama wase wanafanya poa na hujafanya poa, as long as uko above average uko tu saa. Alafu pia atuja get -4 this season bado, so that's good. The goal this season ilikuwa make transfers. The limit was actually 40 transfers, such that during the course of the season, if you have to get a minus, equal -8 maximum. Vile tunaona team yetu tuna maintain tu hizo ma 2 free transfers na tusimake masubs za ujinga, transfers za ujinga basically. So basically hii ndio ilikuwa team yetu ya game week 4, 76 points. Alafu tukiangalia league zetu, league ya box to box obviously tumeshuka 1 position 38 hadi 39. Ya good company tumetoka 802 hadi 835. Hapo Kenya tulipanda 600 positions, but overall tumeshuka kiasi. So vile nilikuwa nasema mapema, kuna teams mbili zenye ziko na double game week. Kama nakumbuka game week 2 Luton na Burnley hawakuwa wamecheza. So Luton steady yao imekuwa imemalizwa in time. Unajua vile Premier League iko sahi, ukikuwa promoted lazima steady yako iko over certain level. So Luton hawakuwa wamefix hiyo steady yao on time. So game yao na Burnley ilikuwa postponed. So hiyo game sasa inaenda kuchezwa game week 7. So game week 7 kuna teams mbili zinaenda kucheza double game week, Luton na Burnley. Tukiangalia expected goals, the first 4 game weeks, Luton na Burnley ndio walikuwa na the lowest. So even though wako na hii double game week, options si mob. Alafu team kama Burnley imekuwa ikipokea, Man City waliwapatia 3, Tottenham waliwapatia 5, sijui hata sikumbuki nani tena. Luton pia walipewa na Brighton na Tottenham I think. So ni teams zenye azikupatii hope defensively. Even though kuna wase wengi tumekona mama 4.0 ama Rebel, akina Isaka Bore, akina Jordan Bear, lakini the only place yenye naona tunaweza get returns ni hapo mbele. So only 2 people I'm looking at for this double game week. Kama uko na mtu kama Joao Pedro kwa team yako na anakula 2 bench, he's a good option to change for one of these 2 players. And the first one obviously ni Carlton Morrison. 3 appearances aliget 1 goal na 1 assist. Bao yake moja ilikuwa pena I think against Tottenham ama Brighton. But he's been getting shots, at least getting shots in the box. Big chances created. The only advantage is that he's playing 2 games as opposed to 1, and he'd be better than Joao Pedro mwenye he's subject to rotation na pia wanaanza nini Europa League hivi karibuni. So Carlton Morrison is one player, and then the other player I will tell you at the end or close to the end of this episode, because so nataka tuangalie teams zenye zina trend juu na kuna teams zenye zina trend chini in terms of fixtures, alafu kuna team pia kana fly under the radar. So tukiangalia fixtures, first of all tuangalie defensive fixtures, alafu ni washow team ni gani. Ukiangalia the next 6 game weeks juu anytime tunajaribu kuget players, tunaangalia long term. Atudrive kumake subs za wase yenye tunaenda kuchange in the next 2 game weeks unless injury imefanyika ama suspension kituka hiyo, ama transfer. So the next 6 game weeks between game week 5 na 10, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 game weeks, Man City, Aston Villa, Newcastle wako huko juu in terms of fixtures, defensive rating, like chances of getting clean sheet or 1.5. I think Newcastle ndio second highest after Luton. So Newcastle is the one team that we are looking at. Fixtures zao over the next like 6 or so game weeks ina improve. Wanacheza Brentford, Sheffield, Burnley, West Ham, Crystal Palace na Wolves. Hapo hivyo hakuna team ya top 6. In fact, hizo team zote ni bottom half of the table by last year's rankings. Burnley pekee ndio, Burnley na Sheffield are promoted teams. So they are very good fixtures. The only thing is each team sasa iko subject to squad rotation because after game week 5 Champions League inaanza. So keep that in mind. Alafu team yenye na trend chini yenye fixtures sasa zinaanza kuchange kiasi ni Brighton. Brighton ukiangalia wako hapo chini ya Chelsea. Next game ni Man U away. Hapo wako na next 6 game weeks wako na Man U, Liverpool na Man City. Na Aston Villa away. Hiyo si game rahisi, tumeona vile Unai anacheza. Bournemouth at home na Fulham at home a bit easier, and then you have to remember that again after game week 5 Europa League inaanza, so say have to start doing squad rotation in squad yenye wengine hata hajacheza Europe. So unachikimseka Man City hata kusema Champions League inaanza, it doesn't really affect because squad ni big and then wamezoea kucheza midweek alafu end of the week. So fixtures za Brighton mchunge, nyi wase mwenye me triple up on Brighton players, ndio maana hata mseka Joao Pedro ni mse nafikiria sana kuchuja. Estupinian is still a very good option going forward. He's a defender, but going forward is a very good option. So if you have Mitoma and Estupinian, I'd keep them for a bit, but because I don't think Ansu Fati is really going to bench Mitoma soon. Na hata akikam atakuwa anacheza, watakuwa na minutes hapa na pale. Mitoma is still mse lazima anze 2 games zote. And Estupinian as well. Juu hapo left back sioni. Leo msama za kucheza Gross kila hapa. Unapata Gross anacheza hapo left back. So yeah, Brighton features zake ziko a bit shaky. Alafu the next team yenye nadhani watafly under the radar juu fixtures zao si ati ni mbaya, but pia ni team kali, yeah? They can survive anywhere is Liverpool. Liverpool play Wolves away, West Ham at home, Tottenham away, Brighton away, Everton at home na Nottingham Forest at home. So fixtures zao zinaanza kuchangamka. Alafu wako Europa League. So more than likely mimi naona Klopp atakuwa na rest. Atakuwa na rotate sana. Si Champions League. Champions League ndio lazima ucheze your best player. So hapo there's a chance that the really good players play they'll play Europa but don't get heavy minutes. Mseka Trent, mseka Robo, utonaka Simikas ata get minutes mob. So wakirudi Premier League, these guys are fresh, yeah. So Liverpool's a team that's really flying under the radar. So when you look at these 3 teams, ushasema Brighton show waswa ku avoid. Newcastle, the people that you need to target, obviously, because the defense is improving. Ni Trippier, Bodman, na Shah. Last year they are the best defense in the league. They're yet to keep a clean sheet, so they will pick it up. I feel like easy fixtures are Brentford, Sheffield, Burnley, West Ham, Crystal Palace, Wolves. Apple lazima get at least 3 clean sheets. Nacheki. And then obviously going forward, those are fixtures and unaweza funga. Your options are between Isak and Wilson. I think Isak is getting more of the starts. Now that they're in Champions League, naona pia watanza. Wilson obviously will not get heavy minutes. So hii game ya kwanza inakam, it's good to see who starts. I think Isak will start, and I think the Champions League game, maybe, I don't know, maybe Isak starts, we don't know, but we can monitor their next game week, and then by game week 6 now we have a better understanding nani anaanza nani achezi, alafu tuone vile tuna nini. But either way, none of them anacheza 90 minutes. By 60-70 wamechujwa, mwingine anaingia. No mona vile sahi 10 minutes inaongezwa. So hata ukingishwa 60 unacheza 30 plus another 10, unacheza 40 minutes. So that's still enough time to make an impact. So yeah, Isak and Wilson definitely people to think about. And then for Liverpool, the only Liverpool person that matters is Salah. Lakini watu wengi wako na Haaland. So your next best option is actually Luis Diaz, because this man is getting shots. He's getting crazy shots in the box. Has 8 to Salah's 9. Akona key passes. The only thing he's not doing is creating chances. He scored the same number of goals as Salah as well. And he has actually appeared in every game. So Luis Diaz is a very good alternative if you want to find a way into that Liverpool attack. Captain picks ya game week 5. So I think as of last week nilisema for most of these things don't fantasy football hub anyway. So tulisema for captain's picks tutakuwa strategy moja. we go and look at people, the predicted points ya players wenye tunapredict tutakuwa na higher points, alafu tuwaweke kama captain wetu. So our top 5 for this week, obviously Haaland ako pale juu. Alafu Son after kufunga hat-trick, I think pia inawezekana anaweza anza kucheza striker kiasi kama hiyo game ya last alikuwa anaguza striker sana. So Son is definitely number 2. Akona predicted points ya 7 points. Anacheza Sheffield at home. That's a nice fixture for him. Alafu obviously Salah pale away at Wolves. Maddison anaguza na Sheffield. Akona predicted points ya 6.0. Alafu Bruno pia 6.1 anaguza versus Brighton. So these are our top 5 picks for game week 5. Haaland, Son, Salah, Maddison, Bruno Fernandes or Bruno Fernandes. But I think option ni clear. After kitu Haaland alifanya last time, Mazu, kama una Haaland Mazu unaumia. Alafu pia Haaland alifungia Norway. Yeah. I don't think this easy game weeks za kwanza ni sawa. Acha sio tupate Haaland tumcaptain. After 20 game weeks is when now we can change. So yeah, captain picks: Haaland, Son, Salah, Maddison, Bruno Fernandes. So tumemake transfer moja this week. Tumetoa Joao Pedro. Tulikuwa tunaongea vile tunajaribu kulimit players wa Brighton, tukana fixtures zao zinaenda kuchange, rotation risk, Europa League, na tumeingisha striker wa Burnley Lyle Foster. Tumeingisha Foster for 2 reasons. Number 1, Pedro is value might drop, so when it drops to 5.4, that 0.1 is going to be valuable for us before it drops. Or 5.3, I think alisha drop. Alafu ya pili ni Lyle Foster kona double game week, hiyo game week 7. So ni poa kukuwa na mseka Foster kwa team. Alafu in case we need to play with 3 strikers or Watkins, something happened to Watkins, we're just showing up the bench. Tuneka tu wesa wenye yako capable. So mseka Pedro is 1 million more expensive, but Foster is playing every game, so there's no need of not making this transfer. I feel like it makes sense. Alafu Foster pia alipata 6 points last game versus Tottenham na 7 points versus Aston Villa. They lost both games, but he scored in both games. He played 90 minutes versus Man City, 80 minutes versus Aston Villa, 90 minutes versus Tottenham. So he's getting the game time. He's their focal point in attack. He's 1 million cheaper. 0.5 million cheaper. And yeah, he has a double game week. So those are just some of the reasons, or all of the reasons why maze leo ni aje kwani ni chai. Yeah, those are all of the reasons why we think Lyle Foster is going to suit our squad, at least for the next 3 game weeks. In case anything happens pia kwa the next 3 game weeks hata anacheza Nottingham Forest away, Man U at home na Newcastle away, alafu Luton away. So Newcastle na Luton away game week 7. Hata hiyo game ya Man U at home naona mimi naweza mwanzisha tu kusema ukweli. Juu tumeona vile defense ya Man U iko, and now it's probably Maguire and Johnny Evans playing. So it's not a bad fixture. It's not a bad fixture for Lyle Foster. So yes, one transfer made, Lyle Foster ameingilia Joao Pedro. Aya, tukiangalia timu yetu ya game week 5. So Pickford anakula bench game versus Arsenal. Tumeingisha Tana mwenye anacheza Burnley. Alafu hapo defense tuko na Chilwell, Estupinian na Udogi daundia tumweki bench. Tumesema tunamwanzisha game ya Sheffield at home, hiyo ni must start. Alafu hapo mid tuko na Jota, Mbeumo, Foden, Rashford na Saka. Hapo mid Mbeumo versus Newcastle was a fixture yenye inanipatia inani stress juu the option ilikuwa ungisha Vardiol, but Mbeumo is on form. We cannot put form on the bench. It doesn't make sense. Alafu mbele tuko na Watkins na Haaland naye ndio captain wetu this week, anacheza versus West Ham, team yenye anapenda kufunga against, so kuna vile tuna bench. In case anything happens, tuko na Foster mwenye anacheza Nottingham Forest, hiyo fixture pia ni poa, na Vardiol is the first sub, so atakuwa na come in place of anyone. So bado tunafikiria story ya Chilwell na Vardiol, bado nafikiria, but this is the game week 5 team for now. In case of anything, it will just be a change between Chilwell and Vardiol. But yeah, I think we're happy with this team. So this is how we're going to go into game week 5. And as I said earlier, captain wetu ni Erling Haaland. Dun, 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 dun. Game week 5 deadline by the way ni Sato. Deadline is Sato 1 pm. So uchangamke usihatwe na deadline. Alafu tupatane pale ligi ya box to box, and something special is coming soon on this box to box FPL show. So guys, just stay tuned. Something is in the works and it involves you guys. Peace.